and welcome to the 100 Meditation Tips. In this tip, we're looking at how mindfulness is a non-judgmental practice. One of the definitions of mindfulness training is that it's a non-judgmental awareness of the present moment. Mindfulness is a non-judgmental awareness of the present moment. So this definition is widely used, and it's also really helpful in assisting us in understanding what it means to practice. In particular, non-judgmental. Yeah, it's a non-judgmental awareness of the present moment. So with mindfulness training, we're trying to bring an awareness into our life. We're trying to become aware of the present moment, trying to become aware of our body, trying to become aware of our mind, become aware of our surroundings, become aware of other people. We're trying to start to bring a sort of consciousness and awareness into our life. So when we practice mindfulness, we try also to bring this element of non-judgment. So for example, when we're mindful of our body, there's a classical practice where we scan through our body. You can find this practice here. We become aware perhaps of stress or tension in our body. Let's say I have some tension in my shoulders. So instead of thinking, oh, my shoulders are tense, I have an ache in my shoulder, we just become aware of it. We're not saying this is good. We're not saying this is bad. We're just becoming aware of this in a non-judgmental way. So the practice of mindfulness, it's awareness, but it's very relaxed, a very open focus. Non-judgmental. So we're trying to bring this practice towards ourselves. So showing a non-judgmental awareness towards tension in our body and also towards the thoughts in our mind. For example, maybe we learn that we're trying to reduce negativity in our mind. We're trying to reduce frustration and anxiety in our mind. Then, during the day when we see that, we can be judgmental towards ourselves, saying, I'm a bad person, I shouldn't be thinking like this, I need to be thinking more positively. So with mindfulness training, instead of beating ourselves up, we just simply become aware of this tension or frustration in our mind. As we become aware of the tension or frustration in our mind, we're halfway to reducing it. So instead of battling with the negativity and the frustration, we just simply become aware of it. We're not saying this is good, we're not saying this is bad. We become aware of it. And this brings us into the present moment. It's a very effective way of counteracting this kind of duel that can be going on in our mind between the positive and the negative. Mindfulness training is about going along the middle way. It's the middle path between these extremes of, between this fighting in our mind. So this non-judgmental awareness, primarily it helps us to relax, it helps us to calm down. It brings us into the moment. And our training, self-development, our path, whatever path we're on, it can be an enjoyable one, it can be a relaxed one. So as you're training in mindfulness, try to remember this definition. It's really helpful. It's non-judgmental awareness of the present moment. If we can begin to practice that towards ourselves, then as we progress, we can start to integrate that in our relationships with others. So we know, don't we, when we interact with others, we have some discrimination in our mind. We like this person, we don't like this person, or maybe we're criticizing, or this judgmental mind. With mindfulness training, we can start to develop a non-judgmental awareness of others. Instead of labeling them and immediately disliking them or categorizing them, we just become aware of that person and open, and we give them space, we give them and openness. And in that openness, then of course later in our training, we can start to like them, develop a warm feeling towards them, finally developing loving kindness, compassion towards them. So this practice, this non-judgmental awareness of the present moment, it's a wonderful foundation for our practice and for developing and moving forward. Thank you very much for listening, and bye for now.